I had players that it was not easy breezy to make them understand that I know the game, I deserve to be what I'm at.
Two head coaches, females, myself and Laura Mullally, have been the only two female head coaches for as long as I'm involved.
Sí que és molt difícil, o crec que és una aposta dels clubs arribar fins allà, cosa que això també seria complicat, però que se'm pugui veure com a entrenadora és una cosa que ha costat molt.
The general understanding that the former players are always the most credible for the job is all over, so I would say 100% I was seen as less credible at the time.
Liga e Meshkujve ka një konkurrencë shumë të fortë, është intensiteti I ndeshjes më I lartë dhe ka emocione dhe
When I started, I wasn't a basketball player. I was an athlete. So I really loved track. I did volleyball, handball, soccer, and I always said that basketball happened on a Monday. Ended up to a team, going to practice with the team. I was 14, turning 15, and in Europe, you have to pick a sport. It's not like in US that you can do multiple sports. Basketball happened on a Monday. They asked me to stay. I stayed. So to tell you the truth, I fell in love with the game. The more I watched, the more I fell in love, and the dreams came with it. The more I fell in love with the game. Oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. And in a certain way, I think that's what got me where I am today, because it made me work always harder for the next thing. And at the same time, I didn't have that pressure, oh, if I don't get this, it's a failure, or no, it's just an experience, it's a process, and you just go step by step.
Got an opportunity to move to the top flight. I was in Talca coaching underage boys, and their current National League coach had decided to step down, and they were looking for someone, and that the lady who was running the club then, Celine Byrne, asked me would I take pre-season. I said I would, once I got the opportunity to take them for the league. Now, I had just had my second child 4 weeks before that, so as a female, I was dropping a 4-week-old baby to my mother's and then going down and running pre-season. It was exciting, exhilarating, and I think I just landed on my feet in the job.
I really thought that this would be just a part-time job while I'm in school and university, and then I'll move on to something else. But now, 15 years later, I'm still here, still in in a different position, but still in the same field.
Po, që në femëri kam filluar që të mirem në basketball tek akademia e tij, duke parë arritjet e tij si gjyqtar, pastaj si trener, unë më ka shtyer që të mirem dhe ta vazhdoj këtë trashëgimi nga ai. Më ka mësuar që të punoj me grup për një synim të përbashkët. Basketbolli më ka krijuar edhe shoqëri të cilat kam momente të parushme.
Dhe si jeta, po, unë kam dashur jetën të bëha trenere. Dëshira ime ka qenë të bëha trenere, të shkollohet, të shkon në seminar, po dëshira e saj kishte qenë bëhet refere dhe e kam marrë në palesтрën shkollës të orët e klasi dhe kam kontribu ku i kam mësu elementet basketbollit, se unë ku i kam mësu po i zotrit Mitat Bilegu dhe jo vëshjetës, po ka shumë gjeneratët të re që unë i kam kontribu dhe i kam mësu dhe i kam bërë gjyqtar basketbollit.
Definitely less credible. I feel like this is a big thing in our sports, and I believe in sports in general. The general understanding that the former players are always the most credible for the job is all over. So I would say 100% I was seen as less credible at the time.
Jo no parlaria tant de comentaris sexistes, sinó de masclisme, i no de comentaris que potser és algo que es veu molt i tothom està molt sensibilitzat, sinó en petites accions. Com? No hi ha cap figura a la meva lliga, com a entrenadora, com a segona entrenadora, com a delegada. Les entrenadores passen a un segon terme, no se'ls dona aquesta responsabilitat, no tenen aquesta oportunitat. A mi m'expliquen i m'han explicat durant tota la temporada coses molt bàsiques, figures que porten molts anys al món de l'esport, al món del bàsquet, rols masculins, que t'expliquen fins i tot com potser tirar uns tirs lliures i estan creant un menyspreu.
Generally in club basketball, I would have coached men, and at international I would have coached women. And I would have then, as I got older, more experienced, I would have coached National League women, Super League women. The differences, I suppose, men are obviously more athletic for the most part. I find women perhaps more intelligent as players, and they like to think things through, where I think men will rely on their athleticism to get them at times where they need to be.
Liga e Meshkujve ka një konkurrencë shumë të fortë, është intensiteti I ndeshjes më I lartë dhe ka emocione dhe
So actually I played 5 seasons in the WNBA and 16 because the WNBA, you know, is just the summers. So I would do, it was crazy, like those 5 years were crazy because I would play the summers WNBA, finish, before I meet my team for the winter in Italy, I would play with the national team. So per year I had 7 days off at Christmas. So with that there was a lot of experiences. There is not one, there is situations hitting the last shot that allowed us to advance in the EuroLeague, winning in championship, I was part of teams that were always projects. They were not built to win, but you always find a way. So everybody gave us 6th place in the championship, and we just like to prove them wrong. And I can say in 15 in Italy, just 1 year I didn't make it to the semifinals or finals. So I think that is what sticks with me more than like a particular situation, is just that feeling that mission accomplished. So.
The first challenge I remember was I was coaching Mid-Sutton men, and we had a Canadian player, and he had just arrived back, so he was studying in the College of Surgeons, and he arrived back to Ireland to study, and we had our first game, and they told him that they had a new coach that was a female, and he was quite flabbergasted by that. So that was the first experience where I sort of got a different type of reaction than I had. Other than that, I have found it the same as coaching women. In the end of the day, I'm just their basketball coach. And once I get their respect, I would find it much the same.
This is the time when I started facing all the challenges. Of course, I felt like I have made it to the next level. I have achieved another step in my professional growth. But just as in a game, the next level became much more complicated and much more difficult. I had much more responsibilities, and I have started to face many more challenges that I had to deal with at the time.
Kam pasur disa paragjykime për shkak të gjinisë, por këto kam pasur ndikim, por kam tentuar që t'i kthej të kundërtën dhe t'ju vërtetoj që ka gabim, sepse gjinia nuk e përcakton aftësitë e dikujt. Jam rrethuar me njerëz të cilët më kanë mbështetur dhe më kanë ndihmuar që të vazhdoj këtë punë.
So I call my Portuguese dad, José Leite, my coach for the national team since I started, and we became family. And I told him, I was like, look, I think I'm going to come to Portugal because my brother is going to become a dad for a second time, and I noticed that I never won any titles. So, and he was like, of course. So you come into to my team. I was like, well, he was like, no, that is no discussion. So I said, okay. So I get there and he asks me, hey, do you want to know? He always challenges me. So he knows how he gets under my skin. So he tells me, do you think you're capable of coaching at under 14? And I was like, do I think? No, I know I can coaching. I don't know if they can take my coaching because I'm going to coach them like they're professionals because that's what I know.
Sí que és molt difícil, o crec que és una aposta dels clubs arribar fins allà, cosa que això també seria complicat, però que se'm pugui veure com a entrenadora és una que ha costat molt. Jo tinc un jugador que està lesionat i va de carrer i bueno, és que quasi tota la temporada ha estat de saludar-lo amb ell primer, demanar-li les fitxes a ell primer, i mira que jo porto la pissarra, porto els rotuladors i porto també una mica les directrius i a mi no se'm reconeix com a entrenadora. Com pot ser que una entrenadora porti homes, jugadors, d'un sènior masculí, i aquesta invisibilització ha fet que hagi jo de ser molt autoritària i dir, ostres, estic aquí i sóc la primera entrenadora. No sóc la segona entrenadora o no sóc la nòvia, que inclús m'han confós, no? La nòvia d'algun jugador. I dius, ostres, això és algo molt complicat.
Është që të dua atë çfarë po bëj dhe të mos dorëzohem, që të punoj, që të përmirësohem, sepse basketbolli ka rrisi të njëpasnjëshme, ka ndryshime në rregulla dhe që të jem e njëjtë dhe drejt në fushë për të dy ekipet.
Nuk ka rrezikshmëri të referoj. Besoj që se ai kom sqaruar që nuk ka rrezikshmëri, është ndjenjë, është kënaqësi të referosh në ligën e parë Super League Kosovës një vajzë. Po shkak që edhe përpara ka qenë vajza basketbollit, po besoj që gjatë është vajza e prindit të bëhet gjyqtare dhe ta merr rolin më mirë se baba, se tash janë kushtet më ndryshe, ne i kem pas më ndryshe, ka pa atëherë ka qenë në okupimin, edhe kem qenë në shkollat fillore, izolum, rrezikshmëria, po tash është kënaqësi, është një lehtësim për me referu basketbol.
Throughout the course of becoming a FIBA technical delegate, which is a couple of days of workshop, practical case studies and exams, we had a one-on-one exit interview in order to be awarded the license for a FIBA technical delegate, or not for that matter. So at that exit interview, I was greeted at the door by the evaluator saying, oh wow, you really surprised me. Young and a woman, but did so well.
That's when I start coaching and getting, okay, I can do this, because at that level it was not the 14-year-old, but they were professionals. And there was, back in 2015, it was the second time that I got invited to come to US to coach. And sometimes the train then doesn't pass twice, and for me it was the second time that it was passing, and I was getting up there with age. So I decided, yes, this is my next step. You know, I could still play, but I wanted to leave the game in my terms and playing 40 minutes, and so I thought it was the right thing to do. Ended up going to University of San Diego, and was able to still be connected with players, young players, like I said, like really willing to learn, and that was. I felt very useful because I could connect with the players right away, because I just finished playing. I could teach and I could still show, you know. So that just, I think, it builds you up, because you get good feedback with the players. You get to share your experience, and it just made me feel that this was what I was born to do, and here is no different.
Crec que el que portem fent tota la vida no val. S'ha de canviar els sistemes, s'ha de canviar els protocols, s'ha de canviar les maneres de poder agafar un entrenador o una entrenadora pel lloc. Ho veiem, estem en el rol de les cures, les entrenadores estem a les edats petites. Són molt i molt importants cada edat, i cada edat té la seva complexitat, i això ho compartim 100%. Però no només sabem portar preminis, minis o preinfantils, també podem portar llocs de responsabilitat, i ja no ens val que agafem a la millor persona.
Two head coaches, females, myself and Laura Mullally, have been the only two female head coaches for as long as I'm involved in basketball, and I think that culture needs to change, and I think there is people who are working hard to change it, and I think we just need to be seen as coaches and not as female coaches, and to be given the same opportunities that everybody else is.
I had to write, like, get that one word that describes my life, my career, my being, it would be great.
Satisfying.
Reivindicació. Reivindicació. Hi ha el treball constant, que és molt important, però jo crec que cada persona ha de pensar, no?, per què està en un lloc, i jo, i les coses crec que se m'han aclarat més, o el meu focus d'atenció és de reivindicació.
I would say the right word for it is intriguing.
Ti është një krye në sportet, do të thotë që do të ballafaqohesh me shumë sfida, ti je një lider, është që të bësh nder ato të gjitha që kanë hapur rrugën, që e kanë bërë më parë, dhe t'ju ndihmosh të tjerave që ta vazhdojnë këtë rrugë. Është një vështirësi, por njëjtën kohë është edhe një ndjenjë e manitshme. Gratë në sport kanë bërë arritje të mëdha dhe jam krenare që jam pjesë e kësaj lëvizje.